Hello everybody, welcome to the webinar for University for the Creative Arts, done in conjunction with the Global University Systems. All of you are well aware, obviously, of University for the Creative Arts and have associated with Global University Systems in different capacity. And that is why we all are here together to discuss more about your further study prospects with University for the Creative Arts. There are a few housekeeping rules. Like any meeting that you're part of, we have to see that our phone and or computer is on mute, so that there is no background noise, and we, since we have enough number of participants, everybody can hear to the presenter clearly. Please ask questions at any time that you would prefer in the chat box. We may have the questions answered towards the second half of the presentation, because the way this talk is organized is that there will be a bit of a discussion or a presentation about the university from the esteemed members we have from the university, and then we will take the open questions. This session is being recorded and may later also be shared with people who've not been able to join the session. So if you're concerned about your privacy, or you wouldn't want anybody to see your face, I would request you to keep your microphone and camera off. However, you can ask questions in the chat box, which will not be recorded. And anytime you can type in the chat box. I will be sharing with you the key personals who we have today, where you can talk to them. So you can ask questions directly to the presenters, or you can ask in public so that everybody can also make use of the question that you have. A quick introduction about Global University Systems. We are an organization which believes in on education to be provided on a truly global scale, which means every student in every part of the world should be able to reach out and be able to connect with universities in different parts of the world. And hence we are enabler of the opportunities which are existing in many of our own and partner universities for students across the globe. In the presenters today, we have 4 presenters from the University for the Creative Arts. We have Davidson, who is Assistant Director for International Studies. Welcome to the talk, Ross. We have Sidonie Elliott, who is a Senior International Partnership Officer. She will be doing the large part of the presentation today along with me. There's Colin, who is the Immigration Compliance Coordinator, because we preempt you may have questions about visas and questions about your travel from India to UK. And we have Simon Johnson, who is the International Admissions Officer at University of the Creative Arts. I welcome all 4 of you on behalf of Global University Systems. From Global University Systems, it's me, Neha Gupta, who is the Marketing Director at GUS, and we have Dagina Wetherhill, who is the Director of Recruitment with Global University Systems. You would have engaged with both of us at various point of time through your journey with UCA, directly or indirectly. Why would we say that you should look at University for the Creative Arts as a destination for your further studies? I'm sure you have read more about UCA than any one of us as well. And one of the things that we have seen which puts UCA ahead of any university in its league is the fact that it is a place which helps you nurture yourself, which helps you grow yourself in the field that you are attracted to. And this is what we are going to share with you further about the University for the Creative Arts in this presentation. We are there with regards to being number 1 in many of the tables and many of the awards that we won. We are very proud of the fact that we are a TEF Gold University, and the fact that we come amongst the top 10s and top 15s in many of the tables. 96.9%, which is a fairly large percentage of alumni and graduates from the university get employment or go for further studies within 6 months, which talks a lot about the fact that in spite of being a university which is very, very diverse, we still have homogeneity with regards to the career prospects which are given to the students. the university gives you opportunity to grow yourself in arts, business, and technology in various manners and fields. There are careers that you can build there in terms of, these are some of the things that we've listed, where you could be an art director, you could be an architect, you could be an animator, a web developer. So it's your creativity in any of these spaces which the university really helps you nurture and grow as a passionate, creative, or a business individual in the field of your chosen career. Here, I will hand it over to Sidonie to talk you through about various aspects of UCA, after which we will take the questions. Over to you, Sidonie. If you're not able to unmute yourself, please let me know. I will do that.
Yeah, can you hear me? I think.
Yes, we can hear you just fine, Sidonie. Please.
Okay, great. And good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for joining the session today. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the campuses at UCA to give you a better idea about where you would be coming to study and what it's like to study in the UK. So we have 4 campuses in the southeast of England, and these are all within easy reach of our main London airports. And so we have Epson, Rochester, Farnham campuses, and I'll be talking a little bit about all of those in detail. So Farnham is our largest campus, and we have about 2,000 to 2,500 students at Farnham. It's a really creative community. So if you are based here, you're fortunate in that you'd be on a course where you'd have really high level facilities, and you would be part of a community that really embraces the creative arts. There is access to galleries. There's a lot going on in the town. It's a really creative city. So you'd be really lucky if you are placed there, you're part of a really creative hub. And then if we go on to Epsom, I think a lot of the students which are joining the session today are due to be based in Epsom. And this is where our business school is based. And Epsom is our closest campus to London. So all of our campuses are in a really easy reaching distance of London, but Epsom is in particular. And the advantage of that is that you can really easily go into the capital. You can go to galleries there, you can take up work placements and work for creative institutes or creative industries in the capital. And a lot of our students really use that easy link to expand the experience and to, you really are on the doorstep of London. And the good thing about being based in Epsom is that if you are in the business school, then you'll have access to a lot of those creative business industries, and you'll have a lot of opportunities to have experience in working with industry professionals. We have really strong links with creative industries in London, and a lot of high profile individuals come to campus. They give lectures on campuses. Often students will work on projects, and these will be in conjunction with industries. So you have a lot of opportunities to really expand your CV and expand your portfolio if you're looking to work in the creative and the business side of the creative industries and you are based at Epsom. Also, if you're based at Epsom, it's good to bear in mind that we have a large number of new accommodation rooms which have just been opened, and we do still have some availability in those rooms. So please do get in contact with us if you would like to be in university accommodation, but you have left a little bit late. You may still have an opportunity to join UCA accommodation. So please do, if you can, take advantage and get in contact with us if you are due to be studying at Epsom campus. And then moving on to Rochester. So I really love Rochester campus because it's so focused on the fashion students, the photography students, and a lot of the students that are based at Rochester, their courses will need them to be in the studios a lot. Obviously with COVID, we're taking this into consideration, and there will be a lot of PPE available to students, and we're making sure that you can still be in the studios and using all the facilities, especially if you're on a fashion or a textiles program. And the difference with UCA is that our students feel part of this creative hub, and you're able to make all these exciting creative links with professionals and alumni and students, and we don't want that to be lost because of the restrictions with COVID. So we're trying to make sure that students can still come onto campus, they can still interact with one another, they can still obviously see their lecturers. And Rochester, a lot of those students are in, you know, Monday to Friday, and they're working on large fashion projects and portfolios. So if you are based at Rochester, it's got a really nice buzz to it. There's always something going on to do with product design or fashion, pop-up shops, those types of things. So yeah, it's a really great campus to be based at. And then lastly, I think Canterbury. So Canterbury is the largest in terms of town. So Canterbury is a cathedral town, so it's really beautiful. It's very British in the way that it looks, but it's also got very fast train links to the capitals and other cities. So the nice thing about Canterbury is it's known as being a student town. There's a lot going on. There's a real buzzy atmosphere within the town, and the campus is a really short walk to the centre. And Canterbury really does focus on architecture and fine art. So we have some specialisms there that we are particularly strong in. And so it's a very nice campus to be based at as well. Okay. And then, so moving on to the student union, and I think a lot of students, especially when you're thinking about studying abroad, it really is daunting. You know, you're often away from family. It's very much the unknown. And we really do recognise that at UCA. I mean, you're fortunate in, if you pick UCA, you're choosing a university where we have a lot of experience with international students. We have as many as 90 nationalities at our campuses, and we are one of the biggest creative art institutes in the whole of Europe. So you're lucky in that you're part of a really big community, and not only would there be students, other international students, but you have the opportunity to mix the students from across the globe. And we do really try to make sure that students are supported from the point that you arrive to the point that you graduate, and we keep that communication with all our alumni as well, and we have alumni communities as well. So the student union is very much where students can get involved with things outside of their studies and alongside their studies. And it's really diverse in what we offer. I think, you know, we have things like Disney Appreciation Society, football and game society. And because the student union is organised and led by the students themselves, every year we have new clubs starting and joining depending on what students want. And we often have a lot of events going on specifically for international students. So we have things like language exchanges and international cinema clubs. And I think it's really important that when you come to a new country, you often want to, you know, try and make a community there as quickly as you can. And the student union is a really good place to start, because you will meet like-minded people, and it's just an opportunity if you've thought about something that you've been interested in, you can take a step, you know, and join a club that, you know, is all about that area of interest. So, you know, we really encourage students to engage with student union. And obviously when you come to the UK, you know, the student union will be the first people that you'll see. So there's lots of opportunities to make contact and find out about, you know, what you can get involved in. Okay, and then, so international student support. So I think with COVID, there's even more emphasis, I think, for applicants about what support there would be when they come to the UK. And we have very much organised, you know, how we can ensure that you're still going to be supported even if you have to quarantine. And a lot of students, I think, joining today may need to quarantine when they come to the UK, but we are ensuring that, you know, you're not going to feel isolated if you do have to quarantine, and that you're still able to engage with those students on your course, engage with other students perhaps in your halls, speak with your lecturers. And so it's not going to negatively impact the beginning of your journey at UCA if you do have to quarantine on your arrival to England. You know, the first step of that is the international admissions team. I know a lot of you will be interacting at the moment with the international admissions teams. They are hugely busy because we have a huge volume of applications this year, which is fantastic, but it does mean, you know, that we're working through getting back to all those students. But I am going to just pass over to Ross, who's going to talk a little bit about your CAS application and how you can sort of go through that journey with us. So if Ross, you wanted to talk a little bit about the CAS.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Sidonie, and thank you very much, Neha. Thank you to everyone for joining our webinar this afternoon in your time. It's a great pleasure to be able to speak with you all. As Sidonie mentioned, obviously securing your CAS is incredibly important, and doing it as early as possible offers you so many opportunities to make sure that you have the most streamlined and stress-free arrival over to the UK. As a result of that, we've recently implemented a state-of-the-art platform which will help all of you to secure your CAS in a much more efficient way. It's much quicker, it's much clearer, and it enables you to see at all stages where you are in that process. For many of you that have already received an unconditional offer from UCA, you will have received an email from CAS Shield by Enrollee, which is inviting you to log in and begin your CAS process. Now, this is extremely important that you look out for these emails. As soon as you see them, follow the instructions. It's very, very simple. The platform will guide you through a number of questions and ask you to upload the documents that we will need in order to issue your CAS. So one of the most important things to ensure of is that we do have an accurate and valid email address for you, because we will be communicating with you via that email address and through the CAS Shield portal. Okay, it's very, very simple. It will guide you through every single step, asking you for the relevant documents that we need. But everything then that you upload is uploaded securely. It's completely viewable by us immediately, and you can see exactly where you are with your CAS process at all times. Obviously, if you have any questions about the CAS process, you're very, very welcome to contact myself and the team. We're very, very happy to help. And certainly I know that a number of the students are already engaging with the system and moving through the process in record time. So just to say again and to reiterate, as soon as you've received your unconditional offer from UCA, you will be invited via email to log in to CAS Shield. So keep an eye out for that email. If you don't receive it within a day or so of receiving your unconditional offer, please do get in touch so we can look into that for you. But the quicker you move through that process, the quicker you upload your documents, the faster we'll be able to issue you with your CAS, and you can begin finalising your plans to join us at UCA.
Thank you, Ross. Okay. So obviously Ross has given you a better understanding of the process from when you obtain your unconditional offer to securing your visa and getting your CAS through. And then obviously when you have your visa, we will then continue to support you as you look to book flights, as you look to secure your accommodation and organise your arrival to the UK. And we will be sending out comms to all our students to ensure that you know the process for every step, and that you're not worried about how COVID may impact your arrival or may impact your travel to the UK. So please do not worry, and please do keep in contact with both Gus and UCA as we can support you through all those steps. Obviously, when you arrive to the UK and you start your studies, there is continual support throughout your journey at UCA. We have special advisors at all our campuses, and you can easily contact those. You can go and see them, you can make appointments, and they can help with just a huge breadth of things, if even from welfare issues, or from feeling homesick or struggling perhaps with your work. And there's support for, you know, every aspect or every issue that you may incur. There's always going to be support there for international students, and we try to make it so that it's easy to connect with us, and you're always able to find the support that you need. If you're in university accommodation, then there's always wardens on hand who will know who to go to if they're not able to help. And, you know, even things with how to access e-learning, how to use the library, how to use that in your work, then we have gateway services who can help you as well. And we have Colin, who is joining the session today. He's our visa compliance officer, and he often helps students who may have queries in relation to their visas. So there is, you know, UCA, we are a community, and we want to make sure that you feel like you are part of that community from the very start of your journey with us. Okay, and I think I'm now going to talk a little bit about our alumni. Our Unibuddy scheme. Okay, so we wanted to include this because this is a really good tool that we've got on our website. So this is a platform where you can talk directly with students who are studying on courses at UCA. So if you go to the link, which we'll put into the chat, you can literally select which course you're looking to study on, and then it will give you options of students who are currently studying on those courses, and you can chat live with them. So you can really ask them anything in relation to, you know, what it's like to study on the course, what it's like to live in, say, Canterbury or Epson, you know, what are the challenges. It's very much an informal way of finding out information about studying at UCA. And I really encourage you to use that platform, because so many students, they have so many little questions even that they would rather almost interact with a student who they can relate to. So please do use that. Go onto the website, speak with students who are on our courses at the moment, you know, and that will often really help you to have a better understanding about the course, what it's like to study in England. You know, no question is a silly question, so please do go and use that platform and engage with our students. That's what it's there for. Okay, and then I think I'm moving on to talk about our virtual tours. So as well as being able to chat with our students, you can also go and see what our campuses are like through our virtual tours. So if you click on the link, the virtual open day, then there is a video for every different campus that we have. And this very much takes you through the whole campus. So you can see the facilities, you can see the types of studios and classrooms and environments that you would study in. And it just helps students to have a better visualization of where you're going. Because it is daunting, you know, you can see photos, but photos are never going to be the same. And so I think it's really nice to see, you know, especially if you're traveling abroad, it's nice to see where you would be studying, the types of environments you would be in each day. So please do go onto our virtual open days and just have a look at all our different campuses, see the facilities. And I think often students really find that comforting because they have a good understanding of what they're walking into. We did just want to highlight to everyone, really, our graduates. You know, we are incredibly proud of our alumni and what they've gone on to work on. And I mean, we're fortunate we have individuals working in so many high profile companies. I think a lot of these students will have heard of, such as Game of Thrones, such as Apple, such as BBC, Kodak, The Times. You know, even just recently, we have a couple of students who are working on productions on Netflix. We have Hannah Cunningham, she's currently working on Glow Up, which is on Netflix. And we have you know, students really at the forefront of, you know, the animation, the film, the fashion world. And so we just wanted to sort of give you an idea of really what our alumni have got onto, because it is so diverse and it's also really exciting. So if we just go to the next slide. Okay, so here we have a range of our alumni. I mean, we've got Scott Dawkins there. He was part of the Oscar-winning team that made Revelation and Star Wars. And then moving on, we have Jamie Windwast, who won the ASOS Future Talent Award. And then we have Megan Webster, who made her own app and became very successful from that app. We have Oscar Wanowski, who is now a games designer, and he's working for a label that created Wolfenstein and Enemy Territory. In the corner there, that's Billy Jacobina. So she created her own fashion label, and she was fortunate enough to have it live at London Fashion Week, and I think Jakarta's Fashion Week as well. And then we have in the top corner, we have Ivona, who I know she created her own blog, and she's been very successful with that. And the jewelry designer on the Let Poplanska, the Queen has worn Poplanka's jewelry in the past. And then if we go on, we have, so Grant Orchard, so he's the creator of Hey Dougie. You may not know Hey Dougie, but it's very popular on CBeebies, which is a children's program, which has been hugely successful in England and internationally. And then Martin Humford, I'm sure you may have heard of Where's Wally. We have, so Gareth Edwards, he's done extraordinarily well. He's now a director. And he's, you know, worked on the Star Wars animations. He's been up for Oscars. The creator of Peppa Pig actually came from UCA. I'm sure you've all seen Peppa Pig, or you have nieces or nephews who have. And Will McGregor, he's really jumped from film production to film production. This is Poldark here, which was hugely popular in the UK. But very much the links that UCA have with those industries has often opened the door to these types of alumni being able to work in these types of industries. The last one we had, that's Sandra Rose there, who is a dame, and she's actually recently opened her own fashion and textiles museum in London. She was a professor at the university. And, you know, we're very proud that she has such strong connections with the university. So I will now pass just back to Neha, but you know, please do continue to ask questions. If you have questions, put them down the side. You know, and if you do have any queries, especially in regards to how COVID will impact your study, you know, or your travel to the UK, then please do contact us so that we can really tell you about how you will be supported, as we want to ensure that you feel supported in every part of your journey. You know, and I look forward to hopefully seeing a lot of you in the autumn. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sidonie. So we have a couple of questions which have been coming while you've been presenting, and I will keep on going through the questions one by one. So if you have questions, and please keep on writing to me either individually or you know, in public, and I will call out the questions, and somebody from either the UCA team or Dagina will answer the questions as and when it will be relevant. Okay, so just give me a moment. So the first question we have is that so there's somebody who has a conditional offer from UCA, and they're asking when will they get an offer letter. So my understanding is that they will have some pending documents to be submitted, and after that they will get an unconditional.
Yes, I think, yeah.
Sorry, Sidonie.
No, it's fine. Yeah, Colin, I'll let you speak.
No, Simon.
Oh, Simon, sorry.
Yeah, yeah, you're right. There is likely to be pending documents still outstanding for us to amend their offer to unconditional. As Sidonie mentioned earlier, we do have quite a lot of applications that we're going through and working through them on a daily basis. If an applicant thinks that they are ready for an unconditional offer, they can go into the applicant portal, update their details by uploading the documents that are required and amending their status to for a U review, which is an unconditional review. Every day we look at the unconditional reviews and try and clear those down. If we think they're ready, we will issue an unconditional offer. If they're not, we will send a letter via email just to let them know what is still outstanding.
Fantastic. Then somebody had also requested and asked that I have given in my interview yesterday. However, I'm awaiting an unconditional offer letter. Just for everybody's perspective, it's been answered by Simon, and he's requested Anjali or whoever wants to check on their status of unconditional. Please write to internationaladmissions@uca.ac.uk. I will write this email ID in the chat box as well for all of you. Obviously, the team is cognizant of the fact that we have the intake in October end, and hence you're supposed to travel as soon as possible. So everything is being done from that perspective. Okay.
Neha, may I just add to the previous point?
Please.
Thank you. One thing that we are finding is with an increasing number of students using the English test Duolingo, it's very, very important that when you've taken the test, that you log back into Duolingo and assign the score to UCA. Otherwise, we're unable to see that that condition has been met. So for any of the students that may have taken Duolingo, we don't actually have that document until you've assigned it to us through the Duolingo platform. So that can lead to delays. So just to make everyone clear of that one as well.
That's perfect. And we have Dagina and James responsible for, the custodian for the students. And I will request both of them to please inform the students whenever they take Duolingo, they assign the score to UCA in the portal, please. Thank you. And the next question I would say is, so somebody says that I received the email from Cash Shield yesterday, and when I had to fill in the fees for the first year, I was confused because my offer letter states that I have a scholarship and my fees is 13,500, which is the fees which is associated with GUS basically. But the amount pre-filled was 16,250 GBP. So what amount do I have to fill in?
That's correct. So when you students are going through the Cash Shield process, it will also ask you whether or not you've been awarded any scholarship. So obviously the GUS scholarship applies in this case. So when you actually put in the scholarship that you've received, okay, which is the difference between your offer letter and the stated normal fee for international students, that then will be incorporated into the calculation of the fees that it's looking for you to provide.
Got
Does
it.
that make sense, Neha?
Is that clear? Yes, to me it is. Pranati, would you like to ask further question on that, or are we clear on that? So just to clarify, we will fill in 13,500 as the fees there. That's right?
No. So what the question, it will prompt you for have you been awarded a scholarship or anything else. So what you do is just enter that figure. And then obviously our admissions team are aware of all of the GUS students that have been awarded these scholarships. So that just helps with the calculation. So you can put that in and then our admissions team will see that.
Okay, just to clarify again, so it'll prompt you and you have to answer that I have been given a scholarship, and we will fill in the scholarship amount or the original amount, just to clarify again.
Yeah, so it'll ask you if you've been awarded a scholarship, and if so, how much.
Perfect.
Yeah?
So
that's then the amount that you'd put in.
Okay, so it's the difference of 16,250 and 13,500 that we have to fill in as a scholarship that we've received.
Yes, so it would be the scholarship that's been awarded.
Perfect, thank you. Then somebody's asked, do we have to submit the financials in the Cash Shield?
I'll take that one as well. Absolutely, yes. So whereas in the past, students would have been asked for a list of documents back and forth via email, that all takes time. What the Cash Shield initial questionnaire will do is it will ask each of you to check the information that we have on file, which is what we've received in your application. So for the vast majority, you will simply just be approving the information. If anything's wrong, you also have the ability to edit it. So you can let us know that something's not quite right. And it might be the date of birth is incorrect or your passport number is incorrect. So that first bit checks off all of those personal details to make sure we have everything correct for you. It will also then ask about your financial plans, how you're going to support yourself during your studies. And what it will do then is it helps you work out the amount of money you'll need to show, and it will ask you then to upload the documents required for us to be able to review that for your CAS. So it will guide you through step by step and make it really clear everything that you need to upload all into one place.
Got it. Then the next question we have is, I have received my unconditional offer. How much time will it take to get to issue a CAS?
To an extent, that does depend on the speed in which the student uploads all their information and completes the steps. The system will move as quickly as you can to an extent, although Colin may correct me if I'm wrong, but we do aim to process within 10 business days. So ordinarily it may be a lot quicker, but it is driven by the speed at which the student completes their part. Okay, so that again is where it's so important to be engaging with the CAS Shield questionnaire and document upload requests as quickly as you can, because the sooner they're complete, the sooner we can move you through the process.
Perfect. Okay, so then somebody's asked, is it necessary to fill in the CAS Shield? Yes, it is, as we've seen. So you will get your unconditional, you have to fill in the CAS Shield, and that is when you will be issued the CAS, like Ross has also clarified on the chat.
That's correct. And what I can do as well, Neha, if it's helpful, I can put just a couple of lines of text into the chat with the key things that people need to know.
Perfect. That will be great. That will be great.
No problem. I'll do that in just a second.
Yes, please. Then the next question is, I have received an email from CAS Shield yesterday, and okay, no, we've handled the same question. And then somebody has also asked, when will the flights from India to UK start for students? As far as I know, the flights, and especially British Airways, is starting their flights from this month onwards. The bookings have also started on that, and there are flights which are going via other countries as well. I think that is something that you can work with through our agents and Dagina's team. And if you're coming via James' team, you can. So basically, the consultant that you're working with for your admission, we'll be able to guide you through that. What is the September 2020 deadline?
It is for applications, is the 18th of September.
Okay, thank you. So deadline for applications is 18th of September. All of you who are there on this, rather I would say 90% of the people who are there on this call have filled in their application. So you've passed on that stage, and you have to fill in or deposit your documents, which are for moving from conditional to unconditional essentially. Okay. On offer letters, many times students, agents miss out their emails. Can we please add an option on the student login portal to see or download the PDF letter of the offer letter, or conditional or unconditional?
Ross, I don't know if you want to comment on that.
Yeah,
Or Sidonie.
No, I was going to say, I think with that one, we have to be sure that we are receiving that the student email is the one that is put in the admission, in the application, because it's so important, because that is how we engage with the student. You know, at the moment there isn't an option to add an additional email, but that's why it is so important.
Sorry, Sidonie, I think the question rather is that at times people miss out their emails, and if the offer letter, which could be conditional or unconditional, has come out on email, it may get misplaced. Is there an option to log in onto student portal and download the letter there in a PDF format.
Oh, I see. That I don't think there is that option at the moment, but we are updating our application system. But for October cohort, I don't think that will be possible. So it will be really important that you are able to access those emails.
Okay. Then there is somebody who has requested that they do not have IELTS, and due to COVID, they're not able to take the IELTS exam. So I would request the person to contact either through their agent, or they can write their email ID directly to me. We will direct you how to take Duolingo or password test, which is both accepted, and we can submit that score in absence of IELTS. Okay. When would the academic year for BA Honours Filmmaking start? Sidonie?
Shall I go with that one? So all of our courses have different start dates for the autumn. They are all set back, but that will be clearly in your offer when your start date will be. But we are looking to start at the end of October. You know, that's when we hope students will arrive, because so many students will need to quarantine upon arrival. You know, so we are looking at October arrival, so that you're able to start at the end of October. I think some of our foundation programs are the very start of November, but induction will be a week before.
That's correct. And just to add to that, in terms of those of you, well, with the self-isolating bit that we're probably all going to have to do, I just wanted to emphasize the extra value of our student accommodation on campuses. Our accommodation teams have actually made it that you can arrive up to 2 weeks beforehand at no extra charge, so that you can complete the quarantine or self-isolation element without it costing you extra money. It's very, very important that everyone arrives as soon as they can, so that we can get you settled in, enrolled, fully able to commence your course on time. So just to remind anyone that may not have already booked their accommodation, there is still some availability, and there's a huge amount of support that you'll receive by staying in our accommodation.
Got it. Okay. There's somebody who has replied on the same question of 13,500 and 16,250, where the sponsorship amount, the scholarship amount has to go. That person has requested that there is no option to add scholarship option on CAS preview sheet. I don't think that's possible. I'm sure that's the reason Simon has suggested. So Simon, can we request that person to recheck the same in CAS preview sheet?
To recheck it in CAS?
Yes, so they're saying the option to suggest that we have a scholarship of this much amount, they are not able to see.
Okay, I think probably if they're in CAS, I would suggest there's a message function in CAS, bottom right hand. If they just drop a little message into that, asking the query, and someone who's dealing with CASs today should be able to have a look at that for them and answer them. I'm not sure off the top of my head, because I'd need to go in and have a look personally, but I'm not logged into CAS at the moment, CAS Shield. But as I say, there is a message function that we will use as well, and we invite students to use as well if they've got queries. So I suggest the student utilises that function, and as I say, we will get back to them later today, hopefully.
Okay. Sidonie, this is the question where maybe you can suggest, do we have BA Honours Filmmaking available for January? I do not have it right hand for me to answer as well.
I don't think from the top of my head that is one of the courses that we offer as a January start, although I would ask that student to check on our website to be sure. You know, we are expanding the courses that we offer in, that it's going to be a February intake, but you know, we are very happy to defer to the following September if you are not able to join this autumn, or the course is not available in February for you to join.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry, could you just repeat the name of the degree that the student is interested in?
It is BA Honours Filmmaking.
Okay, I know that, and we do definitely have film production BA Honours available. So
Okay.
but we are updating and reviewing these lists, but as Sidonie mentioned, keeping an eye on the website is the best is the best route. But we do have now 18 programs across all levels that are going to be available for February.
Fantastic. And also anybody who is looking at deferring, like Simon has just answered to one of the candidates, please email to admissions if you have a deferral request, and you know, then maybe the team can help you in case you do not want to or you're not able to go right now. Also, please note that the next intake for spring is not in January, it is in February. Okay, so the question, the student has also asked that they have 75 marks in English in 12th class, and the overall percentage is 68%. Will that person be available for IELTS waiver?
Yeah, well, yes, they're right. They've met the 60% average, which is fine, and they've met the 70% plus English, but the standard 12 needs to come from CBSE or ISC national boards. If it's from anywhere else, then we can't accept it as a waiver. So it's very specifically CBSE or ISC national boards, average of 60 plus on everything and 70% or above in English.
Got it. Khushbu, you've gotten your answer, requesting you to check the board then. Okay, so Ross has answered some of the questions. Shreyas has asked if the person has gotten 96 out of 100 in English board exams, will I require to take? Shreyas, you will have to check what is the board that you're in. If it works, what Simon has just suggested, then you do not need to take the IELTS. There's again the question, how much time will it take for cash shield to unconditional? After the unconditional, it was answered that it will take about 10 days after you've submitted all the requirements on CAS. Does UCA have different scholarship which we can apply separately from GUS sponsorship scholarship offered?
No. If you have been successful with being offered a GUS scholarship, we are not able to offer a scholarship on top of that scholarship. It is just the GUS scholarship that you are able to use for applying to UCA.
Okay. So also to clarify, everybody who's applying through GUS from India is getting the sponsorship. So you do not have to take any other sponsorship beyond what is being done or which is being offered via GUS. And there is no separate qualification to be taken for that. It is for everybody who is coming via GUS. We have the second question, another question, which says it was mentioned in my conditional offer letter that the classes are from 16th October. Due to present condition in India, is there a chance of starting the classes after everything will be normal? So yeah, basically the candidate is trying to ask that if they want to travel after some time, will it be okay? And will there be classes which will be also happening via broadcast?
I would certainly, I think we're urging students to arrive as soon as they can, really, so that, because obviously of quarantine, we want to ensure that's not going to impact anything, and that you're able to almost complete your quarantine with other international students. You can all do that together and then start your program. You know, there may be a little leeway in, you know, obviously students may be waiting for their visas to come through to travel, and we always take that into consideration. But we do usually have, you know, a date where after that we cannot accept any students further.
Okay. Do we have TV and media production with BA honors getting deferred for January, February? As in, do we have classes for BA honors TV and media production? I think it was just answered right now.
Yeah, I don't think at present that's one that we do. But, you know, of course, if you aren't able to come this autumn, we would be very happy to welcome you the following autumn. And please do just have a look at the list of the subjects that we are running in the spring, as there may be a subject that actually you would be very pleased to study on. You know, sometimes there may be a similar program, but if there isn't, it's not a problem. You know, we can defer you to 2021.
Okay. Nitin Malhotra, I'm not able to understand your question. If there is something, would you please want to write back again? In the meanwhile, I will take the next question. I have received an unconditional offer. Next process for me was to have interview, but it's been 2 weeks that I haven't received the interview call. On the other hand, I received an email for Cash Shield, but my agent said not to fill in it. Also, someone asked you mentioned about the financial statement to be submitted in cash. But I need an offer letter or an acceptance letter to get education loan from the bank, and only then I can submit my financial statements. If I have to fill in Cash Shield, what should I do? Dagina, would you want to answer this?
Hi, Neha and everyone. Yes, sure. I was just actually typing the answer.
Okay.
So as a part of obviously your application and progress to CAS stage, you will need to pass your credibility interview. So it's really important that you reach out to us and to your counsellor to obviously arrange the interview. And the interviews have been happening pretty quickly so far. So that's really strange that you haven't been interviewed yet. So please do let us know your details. And then we will obviously look into that for you.
And if I may add to that, Neha, in terms of the question about Cash Shield and what to do at this stage, keep going. You can input as much as you can input right now and upload other documents as and when you're able to get them. So don't wait. Start checking the information on the questionnaire. Start uploading any other documents that it may request from you at this stage, because it will save you time. And then as soon as you get the other documents, that's the final step.
Right, Ross. I think, yes, one of the important messages that let's consider it as our box or the file which we have to completely finish. So as and when you have the documents, whatever is ready, keep on uploading that in your Cash Shield, so that at the right time, whenever you have everything available, you're just ready to go. That's a very, very valid message that we have. Next question that we have, and I think it seems like the end of questions finally, is January intake available with Duolingo? I believe the question that we are trying to ask is that will Duolingo score be valid for January intake or February intake as
well? Yes. Basically, we've taken the decision to accept Duolingo for a period of time, but that would count for January as it stands.
Fantastic. Okay. The last question is, after interview, I received Cash Shield mail, so I'm waiting for the result for the interview. Does that mean I've cleared the interview or not?
So what I'd say there is, obviously Cash Shield is triggered as soon as you have the unconditional offer from us at UCA. So there's no reason to hold back on submitting your documents through there. And if there are any other elements that you need to complete, you can be completing those alongside. So don't wait, just keep inputting the information that's required from Cash Shield, and that'll speed up the process at the end for you in any case.
And just to add on this point from Gareth's perspective, so once you have conducted the interview, normally, if you have passed, your result will come out within 24 hours. So you will receive your pass certificate within a day. So it doesn't take long at all. But please do ensure you are well prepared for the interview. And obviously you do have one attempt only. We don't want you to fail. And you've gone so far with your application already. So please make sure, obviously, you put extra effort to pass that interview and to do as much research as possible on UCA.
Okay. We have 2 more questions, please. One of the questions says that, will the visa and the accommodation process only begin after I get the unconditional offer?
Yeah, as Ross has already mentioned, once you go unconditional, then you will get the Cash Shield email sent to you, so you can start that process. So yeah, the key to this is getting an unconditional offer.
Cool. So both visa and accommodation process only after the unconditional offer. Okay. Another question is Duolingo accepted in case the student doesn't have IELTS? If so, do they qualify with the Duolingo without any pre-sessional English course?
Yeah, I mean, we've said that Duolingo can be accepted currently. So if they don't have IELTS but they have Duolingo, then we will accept that. And providing they meet up to the minimum that we require for Duolingo, then there'll be no pre-sessional required. So yes, Duolingo can replace IELTS.
Just a note here briefly, sorry. Obviously for direct entry, undergraduate, postgraduate, you can provide Duolingo, but if you are going for foundation, then you would need UK VI IELTS, but most of students do go for direct entry.
That's a very good point. Thank you for confirming that.
Great. I hope this is the last question because that's the last one in the chat box right now. I'm going to, okay, another one popped up just now. I'm going to start my visa process. So the Academic Technologies Approval Scheme, clearance certificates is mandatory or not? Is it because it is mentioned if the college requires? Okay, I think I'll have to read the question again. So I'm going to start.
I know the answer.
Okay, please go for it then.
None of our courses require the Academic Technologies Approval Scheme, so it's not mandatory for any of our courses.
Okay, thank you so much, Colin. Follow up to the answer to one of my questions is my board is CBSE. Yes, Shreya. So if your board is CBSE and you're above 70%, then you're clear and you do not need to take IELTS. Sorry, UCA team, can you please clarify if that is right? So he's taken the English course in CBSE and he had above 70%.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, if its overall average for all the subjects is above 60, and it's a CBSE standard 12 that we've got, and specifically the English is 70 or above, then yes, we will be able to review that, and that will be fine for English verification. Obviously, when we get to look at this application, if we view that, then we'll be able to give them an unconditional offer if it's just the standard 12 and the English that's required.
Perfect. So Shreyas, here's your answer. So Shreyas has gotten 96 on 100 in English, and I think his overall average is 65%. So it clarifies both the questions. He's from CBSE. So Shreyas, if you've not submitted your documents for unconditional, please do that immediately. You do not need to wait for IELTS.
Yeah, and it looks, yeah, based on those figures, he'll be fine. He or she will be fine.
Yes, he will be, I think so. I think the last question now, is the birth certificate mandatory or not in visa process?
I can take that one.
Yeah, please.
That depends on the other documents you'll be using. So the only times a birth certificate is mandatory is if you are under 18 or you are using your parents' financial information to apply for the visa. In any other scenarios, you won't be required to submit your birth certificate.
Also, Colin, because the person will have a valid Indian passport and the birth certificate is usually validated in India before giving the passport. So I believe that will serve as your birth date as well. So I also do not think you may need a birth certificate, but that will be part of the documents that you...
Yeah, for financial documents, we will need a birth certificate.
Okay, perfect. Got it. Okay, last question I will take. If we don't match the requirements for the course and it doesn't include foundation, can we take foundation for another course and change the course in the second year?
I'll be honest, I'm not sure of the answer to that one.
Yeah, I can help. So, our international foundation is set up so that you can progress to a wide range of programs. It's not often a specific program leads on to a specific area. We do have, say, the Foundation for Business, where we expect students to then progress onto the business school in Epson. But it may well be that you would be able to apply to the foundation program, and then progress on to potentially a different course the following year. So there should be a foundation which would be appropriate for you to join if you had the requirements for the foundation. As we do offer foundations which are quite broad so that students can go on to different specialisms the following year.
Got it. This is a very typical question which has come where the person has asked, is it okay to have different student reference number in conditional and unconditional offer letter, or is there a mistake?
I've just sort of semi-answered
You
that one.
replied, yes.
The numbers should be the same. So I'm puzzled why they're different. Perhaps if that particular student, is it Giotti, wants to email international admissions, and we'll have a look into that one for them specifically. But yeah, they should be the same, because once you've made an application, you allocated a student number, and that will just remain all the way through. So yeah, it's a bit strange, that one. So if they could email international admissions, we'll look into that.
Yeah, Jyoti, if you can please email with both the letters and highlight, I'm sure the name, etc. will mailed. Okay, Jyoti has mailed to the international admissions team. She's confirmed right now.
Brilliant. Okay, we'll keep an eye out for that one.
Perfect. I hope this is the last question. Will the conditions stay the same in January as well with regards to the blended learning? So if somebody is not able to travel for February, for example, will we still offer blended learning in February?
You know, I'm happy to try and answer that one. I think, you know, we very much are trying to react to how the world is changing. We cannot say for sure how COVID will impact universities in the UK in February. We very much hope that there would not be an issue to travel. And if anything, you know, it would be easier for you to travel, you know, in January to start a course in February. But this is very much just keeping in contact with Gus, because they will be always up to date with, you know, how students will be entering if they're coming in February. So we do very much hope that it would not impact you and you would be able to start your course, you know, in February as normal and travel to the UK.
Got it. Thank you so much. And I think this is the end of the questions that we have. If there is anybody who still has some question, please highlight. Otherwise, we would like to thank the UCA team here who've taken out the time and patiently answered the tons of questions that we had. And I'm sure everybody's taken this as a great opportunity to learn how do we progress our application and ensure that we make a great career by joining University for the Creative Arts. Thank you very much. And till the next time, enjoy yourself and stay safe.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Goodbye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you, bye.
Bye.
Bukan, Mam, ya,